I have made some bad mistakes in my time, but that's the breaks, and I'll bet I've had way more fun than you.
Hello again, welcome back to Kip Does Stuff. Today's project is something I've been working on for a couple of years and I've not gotten right. It's a bike rack for my bike that I like to ride around once in a while. I built it twice and both times it broke because my problem is I was trying to glue end grain, and everybody knows you can't glue end grain, but I tried to do it anyway, put some screws in it, and I failed. So let's look what we've got and see what we need to do. Okay, so here's what's left of it. The rest of this piece busted off and it fell on the road, and I just left it there because I was really pissed. So let's take this apart. Here we go. And let's move it over to the bench and get a better look at what I screwed up. Okay, so what we see here, we've actually got three pieces. This part here that clamps onto the frame is actually two parts, glued end grain, but I've got so many nails, screws, and brads in this thing, plus glue that's holding together, it's not going to break now. And it's actually split down the center. Then this rear piece, I've got a angle cut on it so that when it came down for the frame, the rest could come out nice and straight. The angle is the only thing I'm keeping. Everything else is getting trashed. Okay, we'll make our first cut at 6.5 inches. Okay, and now I'm going to drill a 1-inch hole through this 2x4 for the next step. Okay, the original piece was 2.5 inches long, but since I'm going to use a lap joint to connect this back to the main body, I'm going to make it 3.5 inches long and then cut out the top portion to be able to put the bolt into it. So let's get that laid out next. Okay, we got the first cut set up. I'm going to use a miter gauge to do that, and we got the height set correctly. Let's go cutting. Okay, now I reset the blade height so it's about 1/2 inch lower than it was before, and will nibble away the bottom of this lap joint. Okay, I didn't do a great job. I'll just clean that up with a chisel, and then we'll cut the second piece. Okay, for the piece that's set up in the saw now, all I did was lay this piece on like this, draw a line there, and then I laid it on like this, drew a line across there, and reset the blade the same height, and that should nibble at that portion and give it a good fit for this lap joint. Let's see how well we did. Okay, we'll see how we did, and I think that fits pretty good. That'll give it a lot of glue across here, here, and I'll put a couple screws in it just to be safe. So let's go on to the next part, which will be notching out this section here to accept the actual rack. Okay, I've used a protractor to get this angle that I had on this piece that I like, and now I'm going to copy it onto this piece here. Okay, you notice I've actually used a longer piece than I did before because it needed to be longer. So now I'll cut off this angle. Okay, for lack of a bandsaw, I'm going to set this in a bench vise and cut it with a handsaw. Okay, to make the two through holes here, I'm going to start with a countersink to hide the bolt head. Okay, and then we'll switch out for another bit. Okay, and these ones will drill all the way through. Okay, now that we've got both through holes done and a countersink on either side, we can cut this in half. Okay, to make the rack itself, we're going to use some 3/4 inch plywood I have left over from another job. Okay, two of these pieces we cut off to 15 inches, and now we're going to trim them down, reckon to 3/4 of an inch wide. Hopefully we can get 5 pieces out of these, maybe 6. And I got a little extra here for another spacers in between these long pieces. Okay, with one of the shorter pieces, we'll cut 2 pieces at 4 inches. Got a stop block set up. Okay, now we've got the stop block moved to 2 inches, and we'll cut all the remaining parts down to 2 inches. Okay, there it is. It's all glued and nailed together. We'll let it dry and do a little shaping to make it a little bit less ugly. Okay, now, while we're waiting for all that to dry up, we're going to try to hot glue these bolts in place. think that's fine. And now let's add plenty of wood glue here and on the face. And right there. And let's go ahead and push this together. Okay. Okay, now I've got my router table out. I'm going to put a decorative edge all the way around here. Okay, we've done quite a bit of sanding on here. Doesn't have to make it look perfect. It's just going to be a bike rack. Now all we have to do is glue this piece onto our second piece here. So let's add some glue. I'll also add a couple of screws later, but the glue should do 90% of the holding. I don't think I'm going to use clamps on this anyway. So we'll just let it sit like this for a couple hours and we'll drill it out and put a couple screws in it. Okay, here we got the last step is to put 6 screws into this to hold together. So let's start drilling them out. Okay, now we'll put the screws in. Okay, there we go, and that should be strong as heck. Let's see how it looks on the bike. Okay, there it is installed. It looks pretty good. One thing I think I want to do now is take this light and put it underneath here so it's way into the back, so in case I've ever got anything on here, I still got my light back here for safety. So there it is. I don't even think I'm going to paint that sucker. I think it looks nice just like that. Thanks for watching.